Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Veterans Memorial Stadium. This evening, we welcome the Yellow Jackets from Alvin High School, taking on your Trojans from South Houston High School. Ladies and gentlemen, your attention to the center of the playing field, where delegates from South Houston High School are presenting a token of good sportsmanship to delegates from Alvin High School. Making the presentation for South Houston High School, representing the cheerleaders, Isabel Vasquez. Representing the Janettes, Jeanette President, Aneth Zacharias. And representing the mighty Trojan band, Ladarius Glover, David Trujillo, Alexander Juarez, and Kristen Rosales. And representing Student Council, Gianna Garcia and Ana Hernandez. Tonight's game is being conducted according to the rules and regulations of the University Interscholastic League. Regardless of the outcome of tonight's game, all of the players have proven their willingness to work and sacrifice in order to achieve athletic excellence.
Welcome to Veterans Memorial Stadium. I'm Dr. Tony Lopez, the proud superintendent of Pasadena ISD. Our players, coaches, and fans are committed to being good sportsmen and playing the Texas way.
I made a commitment to play the Texas way.
That means I play with the control of self. I will not let my opponent become my enemy. I will not cheat or cut corners.
I've made a commitment to play the Texas way.
That means I play with the control of self.
I will slow my anger down.
I will act based on my standards.
I've made a commitment to play the Texas way.
That means I play with the spirit of competition.
I will prepare myself inside and out.
I will bounce back when I get knocked down.
I will compete with a passion to be my absolute best.
So my question for you is this.
Will you commit to support me the Texas way?
That means having my back.
It means cheering loudly.
But it doesn't mean putting other people down.
It doesn't mean yelling at the ref.
It doesn't mean letting your passion become a distraction.
My actions are about more than just me.
It's about representing the name on the front of the jersey and the name on the back.
It's about more than a scoreboard.
It's about using sports to become all that I can become.
And have fun while I'm doing it.
I made a commitment to play the Texas way.
We once again want to say thank you for everyone coming out and supporting all of our Pasadena ISD coaches, athletes, and teams that play the Texas way.
And we remind all visitors that the possession or the use of any tobacco or alcohol product at Veterans Memorial Stadium is prohibited by law. Vulgar or profane language will not be tolerated. Violators may be subject to ejection from the stadium and may face arrest for any violation of the law. Air horns, bells, or whistles are strictly prohibited in Veterans Memorial Stadium and in all district contests. Spectators and fans are not permitted on the playing field at any time. And we again welcome everyone to Veterans Memorial Stadium, and we hope you enjoy the game. As the official healthcare provider of Pasadena ISD Athletics, Houston Methodist Orthopedics and Sports Medicine treats your athletes with the same world-class care trusted by professional athletes, with locations close to home in Clear Lake, League City, and right here in Pasadena. And we'd like to say thank you to Dr. Bo Kirkwood for keeping our athletes safe by providing medical coverage for tonight's game. Houston Methodist, leading medicine. Once again, this year, Pasadena ISD will continue to request a moment of silence before each game. Silence dedicated to good sportsmanship, fair play, safe conduct, and the appreciation of our fellow man. Would everyone please rise at this time as we observe that moment of silence, and please remain standing as we will have the Trojan Marching Band with the South Houston High School alma mater. Thank you. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the mighty Trojan Marching Band with the South Houston High School alma mater. Thank you. You may be seated. We will have our presentation of colors in our national anthem when both teams have returned to the sidelines. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is our pleasure to introduce the cheerleaders from both of our schools. Please help me welcome the Alvin High School Varsity Cheerleaders. Sophomore Emily Garrison. Sophomore Abigail Tillery. Sophomore Zoe Yarborough. Sophomore Abigail Khalife. Freshman Leighton Gallo. Sophomore Lilife Lopez. Sophomore Jocelyn Barrios. Freshman Ellison Taylor. Sophomore Anaya Nieto. Junior Melissa Figueroa. Senior Riley Moll. Junior Berkeley Scott. Sophomore Landry Thurston. Sophomore and two-time All-American Bryn Nesta. And junior two-time All-American Alyssa Moll. And they like to give a shout out to the freshman mascot, Sting. Ladies and gentlemen, the Alvin High School Varsity Cheerleaders. And now introducing your South Houston High School Varsity Cheerleaders. Freshman Savannah Hernandez. Freshman All-American Dyra Luna. Freshman and your cheerleader of the week, Kenya Tristan. Sophomore Allison Juarez. Sophomore All-American Saoirse Molina. Senior Sky Williams. Senior co-captain Jocelyn Alvarez. Senior All-American and co-captain Megan Graves. senior, three-time All-American, and your captain, Isabel Vasquez. Coaches are Alexis Flores and Fatima Castellon. Ladies and gentlemen, the South Houston High School Varsity Cheerleader. Tonight's game is being broadcast by the Legacy Sports Network. Be sure to visit their website to listen to this game and to other games from around the greater Houston area. The Legacy Sports Network is online at lsnsports.com. That's Legacy Sports Network. And you can catch tonight's game and any other games being played here at Veterans Memorial Stadium, streaming live on YouTube. Just search Pasadena ISD Athletics, and there you can catch all of the games being broadcast live. And for those of you that are watching tonight, we welcome you to tonight's game. Ladies and gentlemen, if you would direct your attention to the south end zone, you are in for a treat tonight. 50 years ago, history was made on this field when the 1975 Junkyard Dogs posted a perfect 10-0 regular season record. They were the first Pasadena ISD team to post a perfect regular season record. Tonight, we celebrate that 1975 Junkyard Dog team. Ladies and gentlemen, coming onto the field first tonight, please welcome one of the coaches from that team, Coach Bill Newcomb. And now, put your hands together and welcome to the field members of that 1975 Junkyard Dog team. Tonight, the 2025 Trojans football team are recognizing the 1975 Junkyard Dogs by wearing a commemorative decal on their helmets. As the team comes onto the field, they will also display a Junkyard Dog tradition, which many of you may recognize. And ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the 1975 Junkyard Dogs on this 50th anniversary of their great season. And now put your hands together for your Trojans. Ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please rise as the colors are presented on the playing field. The colors are proudly being presented tonight by the Navy Junior ROTC cadets from South Houston High School. The color guard is commanded by Cadet Lieutenant Angela Martinez. Carrying the Texas flag is Cadet Lieutenant Junior Grade Sebastian Bravo. The rifle bearers are Cadet Petty Officer First Class Jeffrey Villanueva and Cadet Command Master Chief Alonzo Garcia. Ladies and gentlemen, please place your right hand over your heart in salute. Gentlemen, please remove all headwear and hold your salute until the South Houston High School Choir has finished singing our national anthem. May God bless America.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You are looking live with Friday Night Lights on a Thursday at Pasadena Veterans Memorial Stadium from the Robert Avery Press Box. This is Shane Brown, along with Kevin Zelikovics, and we are here tonight to bring you District 22 6A action. It is the South Houston Trojans homecoming night, playing host to the Alvin Yellow Jackets. And Kevin, tonight we've got two teams that are, it's early in district play, but both of them are looking to get a district win.
Yeah, absolutely, Shane. Both teams still searching for their first district win. Alvin Yellow Jackets, one of the new teams in this district because of that realignment. They're 1-3 overall in the season. They're 0-2 in district play, coming off a big loss their last game hosting the Pearland Oilers. They lost that game 3-61 under head coach Matthew Bass. And the South Houston Trojans, you mentioned, it's homecoming night for them here. They're 0-3 overall in the season, still looking for their first win, also still looking for their first district win, 0-1 as well, losing a big game last game at Sam Rayburn, losing that game 8-57 under head coach Lamont Mayberry. And both of these teams have struggled both offensively and defensively. We look at the offensive stats for both Alvin and South Houston. Alvin is 8th in the district in total offense, with averaging just over a hair over 200 yards average. Meanwhile, South Houston, they're last in team offense, only averaging 173 yards average. We take a look at defense, though. Alvin is also 8th in terms of team defense, allowing just about a little over 356 yards per average, and South Houston is 6th in team defense, allowing 351 yards allowed in average.
Well, Coach Matthew Bass is in his first year as head coach at Alvin, and Lamont Mayberry is likewise in his first year, trying to get their programs established and get their stamps on their football programs as they get ready to play here tonight, again, in District 22 6A football. So, keys to the contest. With all of that being said, Kevin, what do the teams need to do to be able to get that first win?
Well, first off, we'll start off with Alvin for their keys to victory. One, I would say run the ball, because In terms of rushing yards that South Houston given up, they've given up 350 rushing yards so far this season. So I would say first is to run the ball if you're Alvin. 2 is have a tight secondary because Alvin's defense, they've allowed 523 passing yards. So you need to have a tight secondary and be in coverage well. And 3, stay on the field. Stay on the field as long as you can and not allow South Houston to get more unnecessary yards and big drives. For South Houston, I would say air the ball out because I did mention that passing yard stat. 523 passing yards given up by Alvin, so air the ball out as much as you can if you're South Houston. 2, stop the run because South Houston is, Alvin is good at stopping the rush. They've only allowed 280 rush yards this season, so you got to stop the run there. And 3, don't turn the ball over. Don't give the Alvin Yellow Jackets any unnecessary possessions on the field. Don't give them some extra time on the field if you're South Houston.
South Houston won the toss. They have elected to receive. They'll get the ball first as they are going to be looking at the left side, moving left to right as you're looking at your screen. Opening kickoff brought to you tonight by Top Dog Fireworks. Say it with a boom. Top Dog Fireworks. We're about to get this show underway as the Alvin Yellow Jackets get ready to kick. Enrique Garza going to wind up to put the ball in play. Got 2 players banged in for the Trojans. So we get set for some Thursday night football here at Veterans Memorial Stadium.
You got Colton Mayberry and Roderick Anderson back to 2 Trojans to return it.
Picked up at the 10-yard line across the 15 to the 20, trying to get around to the outside. Now Cats back up in the middle and met immediately at the 23-yard line by Tracy Goss. To return Roderick Anderson. Trojans are going to take over first down and 10 at the 22-yard line.
Now, I did call a South Houston game a few weeks ago when they were versing Baytown Lee, Shane, and they were primarily a rushing offense, and rarely have they ever passed the ball. I'm wondering if they're going to, if Coach Mayberry is going to switch it up a little bit and see how they do on their first drive here from their own 22.
He said you're going to find a lot of times that they're going to come with different formations. They used to be more of a primary spread team last year. He said they're going to come out with different formations. You might see double tight ends, various wings. You're going to do everything they can to try and keep the defense off kilter, if you will. And so we'll see. They line up tight to start this one with 3 backs in the backfield. Ball at the 22-yard line, and that's where we are going to start play. And it looks like a trip fall, and just like that, it's a turnover, and the ball goes to Alvin, and you could not ask for a worse start to a football game.
Yeah, we mentioned one of the keys for South Houston. That third one was don't turn it over, and right from the get-go, it's James Henry trying to hand the ball off to his main back, which was Jaden Buckner, but the turf monster got him, and he got him good. I mean, he slipped. And it was just a broken play from the beginning, and Ashton Dean, number 94 for Alvin, was the first one to have quick hands and scoop it up, and already Alvin's in business.
They're going to have it first down and 10, and they're going to be at the 13-yard line of South Houston. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, 1 lone back as DeSanto is in the gun. DeSanto is looking to pass, and he's going to throw a swing pass out. That's going to be complete to Keegan Moore. Moore around the left side. Lucky if you got back to the line of scrimmage, second down and 10.
Yeah, that was a good tackle there by number 22, Orinthian Bonner, as that was just a quick screen pass from DeSanto to Moore there, and only good for about maybe 1 yard, if that. So great job by the Trojan defense.
3 receivers now to the right, 1 to the left. Again, that's going to be Moore in the backfield. Santo again in the gun. Hand off and up the middle and trying around the right side to the 10-yard line, met by a host of Trojans is Moore. First one to get there, Noah Urias. And that's going to bring up third down.
Yeah, great job by Urias there. Moore this time going for a rush to the right side, and a great job blocking out in front by the main blocker, number 56, Jacob Baez, going for that right side. Gets a few more yards out of it, but it's third down and much more manageable to go, 3rd and 7.
10:40 clock's running. Alvin in their first possession of the game with a chance to draw first blood, looking at a 3rd down and 7. Santo again in the gun. 1 lone back, 2 or 3 receivers to the left, and it's going to be a handoff, and going nowhere fast is Moore. Dropped immediately line of scrimmage. Actually, it's going to be a loss of 1, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
Just a great response, Shane, by the South Houston Trojans, starting off with a disaster, turning the ball over, and now they get 3 stops and forcing Alvin Yellow Jackets to go for a long field goal. And number 44, Jaden Luna, the senior defensive lineman, was the first one to quickly bring Keegan Moore to the ground for a loss of 1.
So this one's going to be a 28-yard attempt by Garza. Kick is up, and the kick is good. Alvin gets on the board via a turnover from South Houston. 9:44 remaining in the first period, 3-0 Yellow Jackets. We'll take a quick timeout as you're watching District 22
Support the Pasadena ISD Education Foundation by purchasing a scoreboard shout-out today. Just text shoutouts 2025 to 51555. Purchasing a shoutout not only supports the foundation, but enters your student into a scholarship drawing.
Reliable energy means a more secure future. Last year, Chevron increased U.S. production nearly 20%, powering our nation's communities and businesses. Discover how Chevron is fueling America's energy advantage.
We'd like to take this opportunity to thank our gold sponsor, Daspit Law Firm, and their support of Pasadena ISD Athletics. Thank you for supporting all of our athletes and coaches. That is the Daspit Law Firm. 2:01 was the time of possession for the Yellow Jackets. An 18-yard field goal by number 17, Enrique Garza, the senior for Alvin, has given them the early 3-0 lead. And, Kevin, as we mentioned, both of these coaches, first-year programs, both of them with very interesting stories.
Yep.
So Matthew Bass, first-year coach, his dad actually was the head coach at Alvin from 1998 to 2006. And Matthew was saying that, and I did not know this, he is the first alum to ever be a head coach at Alvin High School. Ball looks like that has been through the legs and down back at the 3-yard line, and South Houston is going to have their second possession, and they are going to be in some bad territory starting at the 3.
I'll tell you what, Shane, South Houston is lucky to get back on top of that ball because it was almost another turnover again before a drive even started. I think that ball was touched by a South Houston Trojan, and so it was a live ball at that point, but luckily for them it went out of bounds at the 3. But you're right, they're going to start back in their own territory.
Not the start you want if
Nope.
you're Coach Mayberry for your squad, and a young squad he has. He's got a litany of sophomores, especially in the defensive side, and several juniors that are first-year varsity players. So this young bunch is going to have to go a long way to get to pay dirt with 9:40 remaining in the first quarter. Again, 3 backs in the backfield. It's going to be a handoff and over the right guard and up to the 9-yard line to get some room there. That's number 21, DeAndre Coleman. Coleman with a nice gain right there, second and short.
Yeah, I expect that South Houston to run the ball a lot. We've seen already Jaden Buckner in some games past this season that have been getting a bulk of the carries, but DeAndre Coleman, the sophomore running back, is able to burst right through the seams, almost broke away. That would have been good for 6 if he was able to bust through, but he gets a nice gain of 7 yards there.
Second down and 3. Again, 3 backs, 2 tight ends, very tight formation as Henry is under center. Going to be a handoff, and again, they're going to go try to get across the right guard, but he is met immediately by number 43, Trace Martinez. He's the first one to lay the stick on him, and it looks like he's back to the line of scrimmage, and it's going to be a 3rd down and 3.
Yeah, there's absolutely nowhere for Coleman to go. Both Trace Martinez and Joshua Hidalgo were the 2 Alvin Yellow Jackets to get to Coleman there. Just a wall of Yellow Jackets, only a couple of yards gained, so 3rd down and short coming up. So South Houston just trying to get this drive going, but also by holding on to the ball.
Again, 2 tight ends, 3 backs in the backfield. Henry under center, handoff around that right side of the line again and up to the 15-yard line. It's going to be good enough for a first down. DeAndre Coleman gets the yards. He needed 3. He got 4. First down, South Houston.
Yeah, Coleman almost tripped over his own man. Christian Sanchez was in his way on the ground, but he was able to utilize him and get an extra burst of a couple of yards there to move the chains.
Again, you notice they are really attacking that right side of the line. They're going after Ashton Dean, 94, and number 25, Will Marr. And let's see if they continue to try and attack that side. Same formation. This time they do go the opposite way, and right about the 15, maybe a gain of 1. And it's going to bring up second down. You'd mentioned, Kevin, you'd seen South Houston earlier, and they are a ground and pound team.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what we've seen so far.
Yeah, like I said, they're mainly a run-heavy offense, so you're going to get a steady diet of both Jaden Buckner and DeAndre Coleman. We've already seen Coleman have a couple rushes tonight, and that was a new back that carried it. It was number 7, Roderick Anderson. You don't really have him rushing the ball quite as often, but this time they try to utilize that left side, which they have not tried, and only get a couple out of it, so 2nd and 8.
7:10 clock running. Back to the right side they go, and up to the 20-yard line is where they're brought down. Looks like number 44, Cassis, is in the bottom of the pile for Alvin. Brings up a 3rd down, and it looks like about 5 to go.
And there you go. I was talking about him earlier. That was 23 carrying it, Jaden Buckner. I told you they were going to split the carries between Buckner, Coleman, and sometimes they even throw Jose Godoy, one of the team captains, number 8, in there. So you're going to see a lot of different backs for the South Houston Trojans team tonight.
South Houston has kept this same formation. Now around the left side they go, across the 20 up to the 21, possibly the 22. Well short of the 1st down. And it looks like they're going to bring the punt team on.
Yeah, it's just a great job by the Yellow Jackets defensive line, recognizing just how run-heavy this Trojans offense is, and that was Buckner again, just one of those big bully running backs that likes to bulldoze you over for get some modest yardage and utilize his physique to try to get some 1st downs, but just a great job defensively by the Yellow Jackets to not allow that to happen. So now the first punt of the game.
James Henry is back to kick. Standing at his own 45-yard line is Colin Bro, the sophomore wide receiver. Left-footed kick, and looks like it's going to be a fair catch, and it is. Great field position for Alvin. They're going to start 1st down and 10 at the South Houston 47-yard line with 5:35 left to go. Now, as we had mentioned with which Coach Bass, it's again, and when you look at the stories of both coaches, it's actually pretty fascinating. So here it is, Matthew Bass, 1st year at Alvin. He spent the last 9 years as the defensive coordinator over at Shadow Creek, and you know how dominant they have been.
Oh, yeah.
But we said when this position opened up, he wanted this position. His dad had coached there. He said he remembers he has the same office that his dad coached in. He's got the same locker room, the same field house. He said he remembers rolling around on the floor in the coach's office, and he's so excited to be back in Alvin, back home. Pick up there across the 45-yard line down to the 44, going to be a 2nd down for Alvin.
That was number 33, Logan LeBeau, the junior running back and tight end with that carry for the Yellow Jackets. Gets a gain of about 3 yards, make it 2nd down and 7.
So he's really excited about having the opportunity to do that, and it's really interesting. So like his offensive coordinator, who is the father of the quarterback, DeSantos, he actually coached. He was the offensive coordinator for his dad. So there's a lot of history there for Alvin. Up to the 40-yard line, they move, and we now have a 3rd down and short as Alvin is going to try and pick up that 1st down.
Better run that time by LeBeau, this time going to that right side, which wasn't utilized the last drive. And now they bring in another tight end in there to try to push the pile. It's Darian Cannon, a sophomore tight end, as they go trips left, 1 right.
Back in the gun is DeSanto. 1 lone back. Hand off and straight ahead to the, no, correction, that's going to be a keeper. Nice fake by DeSanto. Gets out of bounds down at the 30-yard line where he is taken out by number 3, Isaac DeLeon. But move the chains. Alvin's got a 1st down.
Man, so good. It even fooled you up here in the booth.
Man, I tell you what, I didn't see that one. That was a great job by DeSanto for sure.
Yeah, that was a perfect fake from DeSanto to LeBeau, and then wide open grass to that left side of the field for DeSanto. Picks up the 1st down fairly easily.
So LeBeau has been the running back of this drive. The last time it was Keegan Moore in the backfield, but LeBeau getting the opportunity now in the backfield for the Yellow Jackets. Santo back to pass, looks right, throws right, has a man at the 20, and he's dropped down at the 17-yard line. Pass complete to number 5, Colin Bro. First down for the Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, Colin Bro, one of the team captains for this Alvin Yellow Jackets team, and that was just blown coverage there in that secondary to the right side as Bro was wide open. Not a single Trojan was near in his vicinity, so good job by DeSanto to recognize that.
One person you'll want to keep an eye on offensively for Alvin is the slot receiver, number 9. That is Hayden Perkins. We'll be hearing his name quite a bit because he is a well-utilized receiver in this offense. Going to be a handoff across the 15 down to the 14. That's going to be LeBeau. And Alvin is moving with authority in this drive with 3:25 remaining in the first, up 3-0.
Yeah, it's been the Keegan Moore and Logan LeBeau show so far for this Yellow Jackets offense. Just kind of giving South Houston a taste of their own medicine, really utilizing that run game to try to get some yards and really have long, sustained drives.
Again, 2 receivers to the left. That's Perkins in the slot. Santo again in the gun. And going to be another handoff around the right side across the 10 down to the 7-yard line. LeBeau. A great run by that young man, and it's going to be a 3rd down and short.
Yeah, South Houston really having some struggles against these 2 running backs with Moore and LeBeau. And LeBeau that time just going right up the middle. Great blocking out in front by the Yellow Jacket offensive line.
They gave him the first down, so we've got a first down and goal now for Alvin.
You got man-to-man coverage, and on the bottom you got Clayton Gertis for Alvin. Watch that matchup.
And up around the right side, LeBeau. LeBeau cuts back into the middle, met in a pile at about the 4-yard line. It's going to be a pickup of 3, 2nd down and goal.
Yeah, that time Trojans were expecting a run there. They quickly snuffed that out. But they do have man-to-man coverage at the bottom at the top just in case. And I think that's exactly what Alvin wants. They want you to think that they're going to pass it, but then they have big Logan LeBeau and Keegan Moore ready to run it whenever need be.
Absolutely. These backs have definitely shown out early in this game. Santo again in the gun. 2 receivers to the left, 1 right. LeBeau in the backfield. Feed the beast. And into the end zone he goes. Number 33, Logan LeBeau with a touchdown run. And it is now 9-0 Alvin.
Yeah, too easy. Again, so that time they went man-to-man coverage with just 1 receiver to the left and 1 to the right. Then they put Hayden Perkins back into the slot at the bottom, and then using him as a decoy and just giving the ball off to Logan LeBeau. And so I think a Trojan actually pushed him forwards to get him the extra yards he needed to get 6 more in the end zone. That's good for 5 yards and good for 6.
Coach Bass had talked that they've got kind of a running back by committee right now. They've got 4 running backs that they're utilizing. Said they're really trying to figure out who is a 3-down back. So it looks like everybody's going to get their shot tonight. It was Moore, and then it was LeBeau. And we've got a touchdown and the extra point. That is good by Enrique Garza. 1:40 remaining in the first quarter. 10-0 Alvin. You're watching District 22 6A football on the Legacy Sports Network.
The McDonald's Texas Invitational, the largest, most prestigious.
I'd like to take this opportunity to thank our Pasadena ISD athletic major sponsors, the gold sponsor, Dasman Law Firm, silver sponsors, Chevron, the Pasadena Refinery, Houston Methodist, Gulf Coast Educators Federal Credit Union, and the Pasadena ISD Education Foundation. Thank you for your continued support of Pasadena ISD Athletics. Ball is taken at the 12 and dropped. Man, I tell you what, South Houston has just had all kinds of struggles with kickoffs. That one nearly lost by Tyron Brewster. I believe that all three have gone to Brewster, and man, Brewster is really struggling tonight.
Yeah, I mean, like we saw the last kickoff, they kind of muffed it, but it went out of bounds, and they were within their own 3. And this time, Tyron Brewster just can't get his hands on the ball cleanly. But luckily, he's able to fall back on top of it. But like you would like to see some better, more clean special teams play from the Trojans here from here on out.
They have had 2 drives. One started at the 3, and this one at the 13. It's tough sledding even as it is, but to have that kind of field position, now it's just like uphill both ways. So they're going to take over at the 13-yard line with 1:37 remaining, facing a 10-0 deficit. This time they're in the gun, and it's going to be a quick out pass and up to the 18-yard line. Pass is complete to Cowart. And it's going to be a nice gain for the Trojans up to the 19-yard line. Correction, that pass complete to number 23, Buckner. It's going to be second down and about 5.
Yeah, Buckner not really known as a pass catcher, but he utilizes that screen perfectly and uses his size to take care of the rest. Gets a nice, modest gain, a good gain of 6 to make it second down and 4 as we approach a minute to go in quarter number 1.
First 2 drives, it was double tight end sets and 3 backs in the backfield. Now we're in the gun. Coach Mayberry said they were going to change up their alignments, and we've seen that so far tonight. Chased out of the pocket, trying to turn nothing into something, and getting drilled immediately is James Henry. He's going to take that for a loss of about 7. Going to get him back to the 13-yard line, it looks like, and that's going to bring up a 3rd and long.
Yeah, first sort of passing play or attempt of a play that we've been seeing tonight from the South Houston Trojans, and that did not work at all. Henry was trying to fake the handoff to Buckner, who then acted as the lead blocker and did not get the block that he needed. And then Henry was having to run for his life to the left side. He's lucky he got the ball out and didn't get sacked, because I think he was trying to hit Cowart deep down the field and rush to the left side, but the Yellow Jackets had that whole side covered. So great job, great awareness by Alvin.
We're not going to get another play off. They're going to let the clock expire, and that's going to be the end of the first quarter. The score, Alvin 10, South Houston nothing. You're watching District 22 6A football on the Legacy Sports Network.
The McDonald's Texas Invitational, the largest, most prestigious high school basketball tournament in the state of Texas. 80 teams compete for preseason dominance because we know the road to state starts here. Put your brand in the spotlight, be a part of the legacy, become a sponsor today at texasinvitational.com.
Imagine you are her or him. Like everyone, a sprain, tear, or nagging ache can set you back. Until your expert orthopedic team at Houston Methodist uses advanced technology to personalize a treatment plan that's minimally invasive, heals your pain, and gets you back to life on your terms. That's the difference between practicing medicine and leading it for you. Houston Methodist, leading medicine.
At Ally, we try to make sure that patients feel appreciated and they feel like they're in a place that actually cares about them.
Certified ER physicians on site 24/7 with little to no wait. Find an Ally near you at allymedical.com.
Tonight's teams and individual stats provided by theathleticdepartment.com. They're a full-service provider of stats for high school and college teams. Coach and athletic directors can contact them for more information. Theathleticsdepartment.com are now signing up basketball, softball, and baseball teams for this school year. That is athleticsdepartments.com.
Yeah, big shout out to our good friend Carl Thies for being a part of statsdepartment.com for providing us the stats tonight for tonight's game. We really appreciate you, Carl.
He is an absolute workhorse.
Absolutely.
And dude's got stories for days.
Oh yes. He will go on and on about anything high school football related. You name it, he knows it.
We've had a pretty clean game so far. The first flag of the night, and it looks like it's gone against South Houston. Officiating crew led by referee Sean Silman, doing a good job so far tonight. As we get started with the first play of the second half. Again, 10-0, Alvin with the early lead. Now back in again in the gun is Henry. 2 receivers to the left, 1 right. Henry back to throw, looks like it's going to be a little bit of a screen, and it's going to fall incomplete. Intended for DeAndre Coleman. It's going to bring up a second down. A correction. One says third down, one, and the stick says fourth down. Going to bring up fourth down.
Yeah, I think that was purely miscommunication on the route between Henry and Coleman, because Coleman didn't even turn around until the last second, and I think that was caused him to drop the pass there. So gotta get the ball out quick if you're Henry, but not too quick like that.
Absolutely. Henry back deep in his own end zone. It's going to be Bro and Blaine Bingham back deep for Alvin. Kick is up, and it's going to go out of bounds right at about the 32-yard line. I'll spot him actually at the 30. Again, great field position for Alvin. They've started all 3 drives in this half in South Houston territory.
Yeah, just a really good job all around in this game so far by Alvin. Now, if you're Alvin offensively, you want to try to punch another one in here to go up 17-0 and really try to take firm control of this game.
Again, both teams trying to get a district win here.
Yeah.
And so to be able to get that on the board would be very, very important this early in district play. Santo in the gun. Looks like we're back to Keegan Moore in the backfield this time. And it's going to be a handoff to Moore around the left side, and he is going to be met right at about the 30-yard line by number 4, Lakeith Baker. Nice tackle by that young man. Stopped at the 30. It's going to bring up a second down and 10.
Nowhere to go for Moore there, and as I think that the Trojans are starting to adapt a little bit more to Alvin's run game. It's just a simple run to the left side. The blocking was good, but the defensive line for the Trojans was just better.
Again, 2 receivers to the right, 1 left. Santo gets the snap. And a fumble on the exchange, but DeSanto able to get it, but then go nowhere very quickly. He was met first by number 2, Makai Cowart, and then number 15, Noah Urias finished him off, and it's going to bring up a long third down.
I'll tell you what, that was quite a hit there by number 44, Jaden Luna for South Houston, as the ball was initially handed off to Moore, and then Luna coming in with a big hit, and the ball was knocked loose. Luckily for Alvin, that DeSanto was able to get back on top of it and try to make a play, but Luna made a great tackle for a loss there.
3 receivers to the left. Santo flushed out of the pocket, rolling right. He's got a lot of pursuit, and he's got a man and just missed him. Colin Bro, he was there, but just out of the fingertips of the sophomore receiver, and that's going to bring up fourth down. Nice stop by that South Houston defense.
That was a great stop by the South Houston defense there, Shane, as they had so much pressure coming in the face of Anthony DeSanto, and he had a wide open, a blown secondary to try to get it to Colin Bro. Just a little bit overthrown, but if you're South Houston, you will take that to the bank.
Garza punting from midfield. Gets the long snap. Kick is up, and it looks like it's going to be caught and dropped at the 10-yard line. And that's where South Houston is going to take over. First down and 10. Looks like number 28, Davion Washington, there with the catch.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Washington didn't call a fair catch there, Shane, because he was met immediately as soon as he caught the ball, and I think maybe if you fair catch it, you would get a little bit more yards out of that.
Absolutely. Or at least you wouldn't get decked.
Yeah.
Because, man, he got hit immediately. So at the 10-yard line is where South Houston will now start their third drive of the half. They've started at the 3, the 13, and now the 10-yard line, facing a 10-0 deficit. Again, South Houston coming out in the gun. 1 back in the backfield, receiver in motion. That's Gomez. It's going to be handoff around the left side and going nowhere fast. Dropped back by the 5-yard line. Loss of 5. It's going to bring up, or correction, where are they going to spot him? Looks like at the 13, or I'm sorry, at the 8-yard line.
Yeah, just nowhere for DeAndre Coleman to go there on the left side. And much like how South Houston was starting to adapt to Alvin's run game, Alvin has done the same. against South Houston's run game. So both teams are just keeping the ball on the ground, but both have been exchanging blows defensively. If you're South Houston offensively, you get that big stop. This is the drive where you've got to get yourselves back into the game and hold it to a 3-point deficit.
Now under center, handoff up the middle and across the 10, or actually just shy of the 10-yard line, rather. Not much going there. That, of course, is Buckner. Buckner on the carry, 3rd down and 12.
Yeah, Buckner only going to get 1 yard out of that deal, so it's 3rd down and 11. So Alvin can just get the ball right back and do exactly what South Houston did, and that's stop them on the next ensuing drive. But if you're South Houston, I got to think that you got to go for a nice package here for either Buckner or Coleman, and you got to get some key blocks out in front if you want to pick up that 1st down and keep the chains rolling.
Buckner in the backfield. He's rolling left, looking, and a pass is caught complete out to the 18-yard line. That's Cowart, but it looks like he's going to be shy of the 1st down. It's going to bring up about a 4th and 1.
By maybe one long one, if that. So now decision time, and I think, wasting no time at all is Coach Mayberry. This is an easy punt call here. But that was the first real first good passing play we've seen from South Houston. And I thought that James Henry did the right thing, rolling to his left and finding an open Micaiah Cowart down the field. Just came up a yard short. But that's what you want. That's a better drive that you want to see out of South Houston.
Probably going to see maybe a lot more movement in the passing game where you're going to get Mayberry running and out of the pocket and what have you.
I think this is going to be the first penalty of the game. I think it's going to be on South Houston because they touched the punt returner, I think, when he called fair catch here. At least that's what it looked like initially in my eyes. Both teams have remained disciplined so far. This is the first penalty for either team of the game, and we're already in the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, very, very clean contest so far. Yep.
Yes. Yeah. So what happened was Alvin called a fair catch, and then the returner got touched before the ball could even be caught. And so that's an easy penalty call against South Houston. They call interference, and that's going to give the Yellow Jackets some excellent field position. Kind of back basically to where he started their last drive, Shane.
Absolutely, down at the 22-yard line. I tell you what, Alvin has caught all the breaks here tonight. With 8:22 remaining here in the 2nd quarter.
DeSanto just nowhere to go. It was Noah Urias that time. He was able to knock DeSanto down. It's a big sack if you're South Houston, especially if you want to get yourself back into that game. You want either a turnover, a tackle for a loss, or a sack. Can they get a sack of more than 10 yards there?
Nice play by the Houston defense, South Houston defense. 7:55 clock is running. 2nd down and 19 now for Alvin. DeSanto in the gun. Looks right, and there's a catch into the 10-5 and into the end zone. Colin Bro, touchdown, Alvin.
31 yards for Colin Bro, and again, we talked about it. You just got a big sack there if you're the South Houston Trojan defense, and if you're Alvin, you immediately follow that up with a 31-yard touchdown by Colin Bro. Again, the secondary has got to tighten up here tonight if you're the South Houston Trojans, and that's a big blow there.
Garza getting ready for the point after. Snap, hold, kick, and despite the high snap, they were able to get it under control and get it through the uprights. 7:35 remaining in the 1st half, 17-0 Alvin. Watching District 22 6A football on the Legacy Sports Network. Well, Alvin had the ball for about 50 seconds. 31-yard catch by the sophomore, Colin Bro. And just like that, it's been all Yellow Jackets all night. They lead 17-0, 7:35 remaining in the first half.
Yeah, and South Houston, you're going to get the ball back here right now. You've got to try to find yourselves into the end zone. You're being shut out here right now by 17-0. You've had some chances, especially in those last couple of drives, Shane, where I thought they were moving the ball really well for the first time, but that pass to Cowart was just not enough. So they're really got to try to utilize more of their passing game here on this next drive.
So Mayberry's going to take it out of his own end zone. He's going to get up to about the 22-yard line. He was back there deep with Roderick Anderson, number 7. They changed the deep back people in the kick return. And South Houston is going to have the best field position so far tonight, starting at the 18-yard line.
Well, you like to see that if you're Coach Mayberry, because we've seen how already in this game, more than a few occasions, that South Houston special teams has not had good returns all night, and now they finally get one with modest field position. And let's just hope that can have momentum and turn into a really good drive and end up with 6 points.
Definitely need to get something on the board now. Yeah. As they find themselves down by 17 in this game. Into formation. And it appears that South Houston is going to take a timeout. It looked like Mackay Cowart was about to line up in the quarterback spot, but the timeout by South Houston, that is going to be their first timeout of the half. We'd like to thank our Press Box food sponsors, Chick-fil-A and Olive Garden, for providing the food tonight up at the Press Box. Make sure to pay them a visit and thank them for supporting Pasadena ISD Athletics. And Kevin, I will tell you this. I love doing PISD games because, man, if I go home hungry, it is my fault. Nancy Carlton out there does a phenomenal job of taking care of all of us up here in the press box with the food and everything that she does. They're incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. The staff here is just amazing up here. And this is, I always say this is like my comfort zone whenever I want to call games. And plus, you get to see very competitive teams in this district, along with the hospitality that you get here when you're calling a game.
That's right. Good football, good food, good times.
That's right.
There you go. All right, we're back to play now. It's going to be a quick toss to the right. Pass is going to be complete. That's going to number 7, Roderick Anderson, and he is met immediately. Looks like they're going to give him 2 yards on the catch. And that's going to bring up a 2nd down and 8.
And even though it was only for 2 yards, Shane, what a catch by Roderick Anderson, having to go up with one arm, kind of OBJ style, over his shoulder to get those 2 pouring yards to make it 2nd down and 8. 7 minutes to go, and you hope that a good return and a good catch like that can drive South Houston forward and try to get themselves on the board here.
Now it's going to be Henry, who's wide left, and Cowart is in the gun at quarterback. 2 receivers to the right side. Cowart going to keep it, and he's going to get up to the 30-yard line and break a long one across midfield, and a touchdown-saving tackle by number 25, Will Maurin. And my goodness, just like that, there's that spark you were talking about. In Alvin territory goes the Trojans, 1st down and 10.
This game is all about momentum, Shane, and I told you, it can come in bunches if you do it right. Mackay Cowart was holding on to the ball for such a long time. You think he was going to hand the ball off to one of his backs, but he just holds it long enough to allow his blockers out in front to create the gaps for him, and he had a ton of green grass in front of him, and you're right, that was a touchdown-saving tackle right there, but a great job by Mackay Cowart.
Cowart again with the ball and the keeper around the left side. He's going to get stopped right at about the 41-yard line. He'll pick up 2. That's going to bring up a 2nd down and 8.
Yellow Jackets quickly read that running play to the left side like a book there, not allowing Cowart to get a bigger run than he got the last play.
Trace Martinez at the bottom of the pile for the Yellow Jackets, as we have a 2nd down and 8, clock running, 5:40 remaining in the half. Homecoming for the Trojans. Sure they'd like to get their students, parents, and alumni something to cheer about here as they are in Alvin territory for the first time tonight. Again, Cowart in the gun. Looks right, and it's going to be a keeper. Across the 35, across the 30, down he goes to the 27-yard line. Move the chains. First down and 10 for the Trojans.
Yeah, I think Coach Mayberry and the South Houston Trojans have found something with having Makai Cowart acting as the quarterback on some of these drives, because he's moving like it's Lamar Jackson out there, breaking through all these tackles, bursts of speed, and gets it. This is the best drive that South Houston has had so far tonight by far.
Cowart comes out of the game. Jose Godoy comes in, number 8. And now it's going to be Mayberry again back at quarterback. One receiver to either side, one lone back. Going to be a handoff, and it's going to be a flag on the play.
It'll look like some movement.
False start against South Houston. Their second penalty this half. That's going to bring up a 1st and 15 as the ball is now spotted at the 32-yard line.
Yeah, you can tell, Shane, that South Houston wants to try to move the ball quickly because of this momentum that they're having with all the running plays that they're doing, especially with Cowart as their quarterback, and now he's going to act as the receiver on that last play, and they got a little bit too jumpy, a little too excited there.
Mayberry in the gun. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Gets the snap, and it's going to be a receiver screen, and the ball is going to go.
It's a backwards pass, I think, no?
Yeah, that's what I thought too. But they're going to rule it incomplete, buddy. I thought that was going to be a fumble.
Because if that was backwards pass, I mean, that Alvin Yellow Jacket, number 12, Travis Goss, just stare at the ball. If he picks it up and goes, he can run that in for a touchdown if they call that backwards pass, because it looked like that.
May have gotten away with one there. They're lucky. It's going to bring up a second down and what looks to be about 15 yards to go. Back to the 2 tight end set with 3 backs in the backfield. Mayberry under center. And he's going to roll left, look, and he's going to tuck it and run. 25 out to the 20, and he's going to step out of bounds. Ushered out by number 1, Cash Polage. And it's going to bring up 3rd down and a very manageable 3 yards.
Yeah, Henry there just avoiding the pressure to the left side and breaking tackles left and right, and gets a good run to the left side for a gain of 7 to make it 3rd down and 3.
First serious drive that the Trojans have been able to put together tonight with a 3rd down and short at the 20. Back to that tight set. Handoff, and it looks like he's going to be about a half a yard shy.
Yeah, a long one, if that, as Coleman was going up the middle that time. And as we've seen the whole night, Shane, this Yellow Jackets defense guards pretty well against the run, especially when it's up the middle like that. So I don't know if they're going to try to run that again. This is an obvious going for it here if you're South Houston. So 4th and 1. I'm very, very curious to see what type of play call that Coach Mayberry is going to draw up here.
It's going to be Henry and a quarterback. Again, 3 backs in the backfield. And it's going to be a keeper and a 1st down and more for Henry. Great job by the sophomore quarterback. Move the sticks. 1st down and 10 for South Houston.
Well, as soon as I compliment the Yellow Jackets defense for their defense against the run up the middle, I mean, Henry just slips through the cracks right up the middle, and I thought he was going to gain only maybe a couple of yards out of it, and he gets maybe 3, 4, 5 more yards out of it.
Mayberry again. Staying at quarterback. All of this started with Makai Cowart coming in at quarterback for about the first 4 or 5 plays of the drive, getting him in deep territory. And then James Henry comes in and gets under center for about the last 5 plays of this drive. And it looks like they're going to talk it over, Coach Mayberry and his kids, with 2:39 remaining in the half. 17-0 Alvin, but South Houston knocking on the door. 22-6A football, Legacy Sports Network.
To learn more, visit www.gcefcu.org.
2:39 remaining in the half. South Houston with the drive. They've got it first down and 10 at the 11-yard line. James Henry back in under center. 3 backs in the backfield. And a handoff and around the left side and into the end zone. Touchdown, South Houston. A great run by Jaden Buckner, junior running back, in from 11 yards, and South Houston gets a much-needed touchdown.
Yeah, we told you all night that Jaden Buckner was going to split the carries with DeAndre Coleman, and Buckner, with some great blocking on the left side, has a wide-open gap and finds the back left corner of the end zone to put up 6. And finally, the South Houston Trojan fans have something to cheer about as we are nearing the end of the first half.
Looks like they're going to go for 2, and it's going to be flags. And it looks like they jumped early again. South Houston has met the enemy, and it is them. Matter of fact, it looks like the guilty party dropped and gave 10 push-ups immediately.
Yeah, definitely doing that for punishment to try to get himself hyped up again. But yeah, you got to clean up on the penalties just a little bit. Don't be a little too jumpy. So now instead of the 2-point conversion, they're going to go for a traditional extra point here.
Snap. Kick is up. Line drive is
no good.
No good.
It was blocked. That was William Cruz who was kicking it for South Houston, and a great job by a Yellow Jacket defender to get a hand on it, and that's no good. So they only get 6 out of this drive.
You take a look at it right here. Instant replay brought to you by Cane's Chicken Fingers. Nice touchdown run by Buckner, and he gets South Houston on the board with an 82-yard drive that took nearly 5 minutes. It took 4 minutes and 53 seconds, and South Houston is back in this game down 17-11.
Yeah, South Houston definitely is ruling the time of possession over Alvin, I would say, because Alvin is having some quick drives that end up in points, and South Houston having the more longer sustained drives, and finally they were able to end off a good drive in 6 points, but couldn't cap off that extra point. So now Alvin, let's see how they respond.
Alvin will be receiving for the first time in the contest. He's getting ready to kick off. Number 19. William Cruz. 2 Yellow Jackets back deep at the 28-yard line. It's going to be a short kick.
Muffed.
Little bit of miscommunication there. Let's see if Alvin was able to hang on to it. It looks like they are. Fortunately for them, they're able to handle that. That was number 7, Tracy Goss, that was able to get it. Ball was a couple of Alvin players not communicating. Canales nearly knocked that ball and lost it. Goss got him, and fortunately for them, able to maintain possession.
Yeah, the way that South Houston's kicking unit was lined up, I thought it looked like it was going to be a shorter kick because there was no deep returners at all for Alvin. So I think South Houston was trying to do a similar version of that. And Alvin did cough up the ball, and it was up for grabs. But fortunately for them, they were able to pounce back on it, and now they've got a chance to try to tack on one more score before the half ends.
2:26 remaining, starting at their own 37-yard line. If you can believe it, it's the worst field position they've had all night to start a drive. It's going to be a handoff and quickly up the middle past the 40-yard line up to the 42. Go the Yellow Jackets. Nice gain there, and quickly back to the line. Go the Yellow Jackets, 2nd and 5.
Different running back that time. It's number 20 who carries it again. The senior running back, Marcus Canales, goes up the middle for only a gain of 1 to make it 3rd down and 4. So that's the first time we've called his name. So another back introduced to this Yellow Jacket offense.
Again, Coach Matthew Bass had alluded to it. They have 4 running backs that they feature. They're trying to figure out if they can get a 3-down back. Started out with Keegan Moore. Then it was Logan LeBeau, who has a touchdown to his credit tonight. And now we're seeing Marcus Canales as a timeout has been called.
For all the latest
with
Pasadena
2
ISD
minutes
news,
including
remaining photos of tonight's event,
in the
us
half.
on Facebook. Facebook.com.
So far,
/Pasadena
it looks like
ISD.
it's been a possession game for South Houston, like you mentioned, time of possession. But their starting field position has really been the bane of their existence in this contest. I think that's really the reason why they're down where they are.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we alluded to it earlier, like those first few drives, those special teams, you could tell from the get-go that like that big turnover that they got started to like creep up on them, especially in terms of their return game, because they had a turnover when trying to hand the ball off. Luckily, it only ended up in 3 points for Alvin. Then they muffed the punt, and then they were able to score soon afterwards. And finally, their defense is starting to come to the forefront a little bit here.
Definitely could use a stop if you're South Houston and not let Alvin get any more points on the board. Santo looks left. He's going to keep looking left. He's going to throw it up. He's got a man wide open. Complete to number 18, Darian Cannon, the sophomore tight end, and move the chains. A big first down for Alvin.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the primary defender was doing there. That was Davion Washington, the sophomore. I think Washington was thinking that ball was going to go out of bounds, but Darian Cannon, being the receiver that he is able to recognize and get his hands on the ball, keep both feet in bounds, and give Alvin a huge reception.
2 receivers to right, 1 left. It's going to be a handoff, and that's going to be Canales across the 25-yard line. They're going to mark him down to 23, and a flag comes in at the end of the play.
There's some extracurricular activity afterwards at the end of that. This might be coming back.
Looks like it's face mask call against South Houston.
Yeah, definitely not what you want if you're South Houston, trying to keep yourselves in this game and trying to get a stop. That face mask penalty puts you way deep into the red zone at the 11.
So that's where Alvin is going to take over. First down and 10 with 1:38 remaining in the first half, looking to build on the 17-6 lead. Again, in the slot, number 9, Hayden Perkins. We have yet to call his name once. The leading receiver for Alvin. Let's see if they give him a look on this drive. Canales going to get the ball, and he's not going to go anywhere. Nice stop by the South Houston defensive line. Second down, minute 10, clock running.
Again, guess who's making that tackle for South Houston? You see him every single time he makes a tackle. He's all fired up. Number 44, Jaden Luna. That's his 3rd tackle of the night for South Houston. He's really been all over the place defensively for the Trojans.
Now they go 3 wide to the right, 1 to the left. Canales in the backfield. DeSanto in the gun. A handoff to Canales again. He's got an open seam, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, number 20, the senior running back, Marcus Canales. A great finish to the drive with a great run up the middle.
Got up the middle in a hurry. A great blocking out in front. Perfect hole right up the middle, and it's Canales finishing the job worth 11 yards, and that's a big score before the half ends.
So now Garza with the point after. It's going to be good. And it is now 24-6. Alvin with the lead with 37 seconds remaining in the half. You are watching District 22 6A football on the Legacy Sports Network. Introducing Quick Assist, the easiest way to resell your tickets. Don't let games go to waste. They help you sell your unused tickets by listing them on every major ticket marketplace with one app. Fast, simple, and stress-free. Download the app by scanning the QR code on the website. Quick Assist, your ticket everywhere. Well, you did say, let's see how Alvin responds. And, buddy, they sure did with a drive that took about a minute and 51 seconds. They win a total of 63 yards. Marcus Canales with an 11-yard touchdown run. They respond with a touchdown of their own, and now they're in command with an 18-point lead.
Yeah, that penalty towards the end there just really killed any type of defensive presence that the Trojans had. I mean, that was a drive defensively that I think the South Houston Trojans would have felt nice about going into the second half, but now they've got to try to maybe get one more score here before the half ends. They only got one more timeout left to use, and they did miss that extra point towards the end. That definitely, you don't want this game to get away from you too quickly.
Henry trying to make something happen, got the ball about 4 yards deep in the end zone. Only is able to manage to get out to about the 8-yard line with 30 seconds remaining. First down and 10 for the Trojans.
And Shane, if you're the Trojans, you would like to see some more passing plays. I mean, we saw a little bit of that a few drives ago when they were a yard short and they had to punt it on 4th and 1. But I think if you utilize the passing game a little bit more and kind of maybe expose the Alvin Yellow Jackets secondary a little bit, you might get some good results.
Under center with two backs in the backfield is Henry. And taking around the left side past the 10-yard line up to about the 12. That's number 23, Buckner, the one responsible for the lone score for the Trojans. 12 seconds remaining, and I don't think we're going to get another play.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like the Trojans are having any urgency to get back to the line and run another one. And that, yeah, it's going to be it for the first half.
And we have reached halftime. It is Alvin with a 24-6 lead over the South Houston Trojans. As we get ready for halftime, you have an opportunity to see both of these bands perform. And, of course, it's homecoming for the Trojans. So we'll be crowning a homecoming king and queen in just a few minutes as well. Sit back, relax, enjoy all the pomp and circumstance and festivities. The halftime show brought to you by Mr. Electric. We got the power to make things better. It's halftime here at Veterans Stadium. Again, Alvin leading 24-6 on the Legacy Sports Network.
Pleasure to introduce the Alvin High School Halftime Show, featuring performances from the Yellow Jacket Band and the finest ladies of Alvin, the state and national champion Alvin High School Jacketeers. The Jacketeers are under the direction of Eve Robinson and Abby Winkenwerder. The Jacketeers would like to recognize their sponsors for 2026. Platinum sponsors, All Pro Car Care, Troy Hansen owner, the Pascalopi family, Alvin Chick-fil-A, Chocolate Bayou Federal Credit Union, Flex Chiropractic, Heights Baptist Church, Houston Elbow, Calista's Law Firm, McLaughlin Erectors Incorporated, ProServe Technical, Diamond Sponsors, Farmers Insurance, Scott Keevely Agency, and the Cajun Shack. And the Alvin's finest sponsors, CFI Mechanical Incorporated, Rough Diamond Energy, and Talos Energy. Leading the Jacketeers onto the field for this evening's performance are the 2026 Jacketeer Dance Officers, Junior Claire Sines, Senior Leslie Doroteo, Senior Aiden Kiner, Senior Kirsten Pallardy, and Senior Lydia Guerrero. Representing the social committee are executives Brooke Adwell, Macy Arias, Presley Binger, Ariana Buenrostro, Carla Cordova, Layla El-Khatib, Presley Frederick, Lila Marcel, Vice President Ashley Mulder, President Destiny Graham. Jacketeer of the Week is Ariana Buenrostro, and Staff Member of the Week is our Assistant Principal, Miss Heather Perriman. And now for your entertainment, the Jacketeers will electrify you with their featured jazz routine to APT.
Good evening, Pasadena, Texas, and welcome to tonight's halftime performance by the Alvin Yellow Jacket Marching Band. Tonight, the band will be performing their program, Mercury Rising, featuring music of Gustav Holst, Manuel Lynn Miranda, Sufjan Stevens, and James Newton Howard. Soloists include Peyton Geisen on flute and Ethan Zamora on tuba. Freshman of the week is Kylie DeLeon. Guard member of the week is Lily Goosh. Band member of the week is Gavin Heston. The section of the week is the Front Ensemble. Drum majors, Brooklyn Nelson, Kate Dare, Joel Munoz, and Peyton Geisen. You may take the field in halftime performance. Sponsors for the Alvin High School Band include Heights Baptist Church, Raising Cane's, Chick-fil-A of Alvin, the Lions Club of Alvin, State Farm Insurance, Chris Peters, Mr. Sombrero Mexican Restaurant, and Gordon Street Tavern. The band is under the direction of directors Casey Watson, John Anderson, Jasmine Montemayor, and Eli Garza. Color guard director is Lily Nevels. Principal for the Alvin High School is Mr. Robert Ford. The director of fine arts for Alvin ISD are Ms. Lisa Savage and Bobby Mouse.
Good evening, and welcome to South Houston High School's 2025 Homecoming Celebration. We would like to thank all the parents, students, teachers, staff, board members, and alumni who are here to help celebrate homecoming. And now, it is time to introduce this year's Homecoming Court. Representing the 9th grade class, Lord Isaias Santos. Isaias is in the SHHS band. He is being escorted by Claudia Garza Espinoza and Hugo Soto. Lady Dyra Luna. Dyra wants to be a child psychologist after high school. She is being escorted by Elizabeth Castro and Luis Luna. Representing the 10th grade class, Duke DeAndre Coleman. DeAndre is on the varsity football team, varsity track, color guard, ECHS, and part of the district student board. He is being escorted by Christiana Santillan and Kinara Coleman. Duchess Genesis Baez. Genesis is a member of the SHHS softball and golf team. She is being escorted by Eunice Baez and Luis Baez. Junior representative, Prince Leonardo Garza. Leonardo is a part of the SHHS Mighty Trojan Band. He is being escorted by Juan and Norma Garza. Abigail Escobar. Abigail is Chica's president, a part of Stuco junior class president and part of Tech Theater. She is being escorted by Jessica Escobar and Jose Meza. Our Omega representatives, Omega King, Sean Flores, and Queen Amy Vega. He is escorted by his mother, Gloria Flores. Sean was voted as the 2025 South Houston High School Omega Homecoming King by his peers. Amy is escorted by her mother, Angelica. She was voted as the 2025 South Houston High School Omega Homecoming Queen by her peers. Now, representing the class of 2025, the King candidates, Roy Gomez. Roy is part of football, basketball, track, Trojan TV. After high school, he plans to attend HCC to continue studying for video production. He is being escorted by Angela Maria Reyes and Jermaine Phillips. Scott Santana. Scott is part of the Trojan boys basketball team. He is being escorted by Lucy Flores and Jade Santana. David Trujillo. David is part of the band and is the student council secretary. He is being escorted by Cindy and Edward Trujillo. And now our queen candidates. Isabel Vasquez. Isabel, she is captain of the varsity's cheer team. After graduation, she plans to major in pre-veterinary medicine and hopes to still be cheering. She is escorted by Michelle and Rogelio Martinez. Kayla De La Cruz. She is a part of the CFA Leadership Academy and Student Council. She is escorted by Maria Granados and Pablo De La Cruz. Valerie Resendez. Valerie is a theater officer, a part of the Student Council and the Chick-fil-A Academy. She is being escorted by Yvonne Resendez and Roberto Resendez. Let's give a big round of applause one more time to our 2025 Homecoming Court. Thank you everyone for joining us this evening. And now, our 2025 South Houston High School Homecoming King is Roy Gomez. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've been waiting for, our 2025 South Houston High School Homecoming Queen is Isabel Vasquez. Let's give a big round of applause one more time to our 2025 Homecoming King and Queen. Once again, thank you everyone for joining us this evening, and go Trojans!
right from the start. We're Pasadena ISD, no place I'd rather be. Making memories, building dreams, and only getting better. Pasadena ISD, many hearts, one beat. Many hearts, one beat. From pre-kindergarten all the way to 12th grade. Getting ready for life's grand stage. Different schools, but we're on the same team. The best students that you'll ever meet. We're Pasadena ISD, no place I'd rather be. Making memories, building dreams, and only getting better. Pasadena ISD, many hearts, one beat. Many hearts, one beat. Yeah, yeah. Pasadena ISD, yeah. From pre-kindergarten all the way to 12th grade. Getting ready for life's grand stage. Different schools, but we're on the same team. The best students that you'll ever meet.
Let's welcome your Trojans back to the field. And tonight's second half instant replays are sponsored by Raising Cane's.
Well, fans, hope you enjoyed all the halftime festivities. Halftime show brought to you by Mr. Electric. We've got the power to make things better. Shane Brown and Kevin C, man, we are wrapping up halftime as we get ready for the third quarter. Alvin up 24-6. In a first half that really saw South Houston with terrible field position, costly penalties, and an inopportunity to be able to get on the board. And Alvin just consistently taking care of business with their drives. That's why they're up 18.
I mean, you hit the nail right on the head, Shane. You talked about it. Those penalties, especially towards the latter half of the first half, really were costing the South Houston Trojans, just allowing the Alvin Yellow Jackets to take full advantage. They started off with a pretty good drive that ended up with a 28-yard field goal by Eric Garza. And then you had a couple of rushing touchdowns by living art rushing touchdown by Marcus Canales. You get a 31-yard touchdown by Colin Bro, a 5-yard rushing one by Logan LeBeau. And South Houston, the only score to speak of that they have was an 11-yard rushing touchdown by Jaden Buckner. And then the extra point attempt was not good afterwards. But the one thing South Houston has had success with is having long, sustained drives. But the problem is they can't finish them with getting points on after them.
So kick is underway, and it's a deep one, and it's going to bounce into the end zone, and that's going to be a touchback. And Alvin is going to take over first down and 10, and it'll be at their own 25-yard line.
Yeah, smart decision there by the main returner, number 23, Cameron Fobbs there, as that was not going to be a playable ball, a returnable ball there. So Alvin is going to start the ball off from their own 25, and if I'm Alvin here, I'm thinking immediately scoring your opening drive, put immediate pressure on this Trojans defense that has been struggling so far tonight to really get the timely stops. They've done it a few times, Shane, but the Trojans have really got to buckle down here and try to get the Yellow Jackets offense off the field.
25-yard line is the worst starting position Alvin has had all night. They have really done a great job of taking the ball over on positive sides of the field. It's going to be a very short carry up to about the 26-yard line, pickup of 1, second down and 9.
Yeah, that was Canales there who got that 11-yard rushing touchdown just right before the first half concluded. He only gets 1 yard out of that deal going to the right side, but like expect to see more of those few running backs that head coach Bass was talking about.
They started off with Keegan Moore, then we saw Logan LeBeau, and then Marcus Canales, the third featured back in the Yellow Jacket offense. 11:23 remaining, and that's going to be a swing pass out to Canales. Canales across the 20-yard line, and he's going to get maybe up to the 24-yard line, and it's going to be a 3rd down and 6.
Interesting couple of plays to open up the half here, Shane. Going for a run down the middle from Canales and then a screen pass to him afterwards. Not getting positive yardage out of that deal as he loses a yard, so it's 3rd and 11. So a big opportunity here for the South Houston defense to get a quick 3 and out and try to get your offense onto the field and hopefully get yourselves back into this game.
That's correct, yep. 3rd down and 11. I said 3rd and 6. Having a tough time with the 5-yard lines. 3rd down and 11. Here are the Yellow Jackets. 3 receivers. Play action. Rolling to his left and being dropped in the backfield. Great response by the South Houston defense. Down at the 20-yard line goes the quarterback, DeSantos, and number 44, Jane Luna, one of the players in on the play.
I'll tell you what, he's been all over the place defensively for the Trojans. He had 3 tackles for a loss in that first half, and he gets a big one, a big sack. Luna is all over the place. He's definitely a bright spot so far tonight defensively for South Houston.
So a very quick drive for Alvin, and they're going to punt the ball away. Back at the 10-yard line is Garza. South Houston not very deep with the players at the 35-yard line. Garza looked like he was going to fake it, takes a few steps, and now gets a nice punt underway. And it's going to take a Yellow Jacket roll. It's going to go down to the 29-yard line, and that's where South Houston is going to start their first drive of the second half.
I'll say this, Shane. If Garza would have held on to the ball for a little bit longer, because I thought he was going to make a run for it and not punt it. But if he held on to the ball for maybe like a few seconds more, I think he could have made a run for it to the right side because absolutely no Trojan defender in that special teams unit was even looking in that direction.
I thought it was a fake, and I agree with you. I think he could have very well have gotten a first down. So 9:36 remaining in the third period. South Houston with the ball for the very first time in this second half. It's going to be Henry under center, and they're back into that tight formation with 3 backs in the backfield. Handoff around the right side and across the 35 and the 40 to the 42-yard line is the big bowling ball. That is Jaden Buckner, and he mans his way up to the 41-yard line. Move the chains. First down and 10, South Houston.
How about Buckner hustling and bustling right down the middle, breaking tackles left and right, and then falling forward for some extra yardage. Good for 10-plus yards, brings it to the 41. Great run by Buckner there.
Back again with 3 backs in the backfield. Buckner again around that right side. They've been picking on that side of the line all night across the 45 to the 46-yard line. It's going to be a 2nd down and 5.
Definitely a spot that South Houston Trojans trying to expose with the Yellow Jackets defensive line going to the right side, and that's free real estate for Jaden Buckner to get more yards out of the deal, gain of 6 as they continue to keep the chains rolling, trying to continue momentum from getting that big 3 and out.
Buckner off on the sideline getting a breather, and this is going to be number 7 across the 45. Looks like he's going to get stopped right at the line of scrimmage. That's Roderick Anderson. And that's going to be a 3rd down and 5. Buckner is now back in the game.
Haven't really called too much of Roderick Anderson tonight. We saw him carry the 1 time in the first half. This is only the 2nd time that he's carried the ball tonight. He only gets a yard out of it. So this is a big 3rd down coming up for South Houston. You definitely want to continue momentum on your side because that stop is only good if you can score right afterwards offensively.
Tight formation again, 3 backs in the backfield. And Buckner's going to get the ball, and he is going to maybe get a yard up to the 47-yard line. So, do you go for it in this situation?
Let's see. It's 4th and what is it, 4 yards? Yeah, I think at this point, like, you want to try to keep momentum on your side. I would draw up a really good play here if I'm South Houston. And that was a great tackle, by the way, by Ashton Dean, his second tackle of the night. This is probably the biggest play of the game for South Houston tonight. They got to get a good one here.
All right, it's a big one. 4th down and 4 with 7:18 remaining in the third. It's going to be play action, and down the middle, a man has got him, and it's complete. What a play, what a catch by Mekhi Cowart. 1st down and 10, South Houston.
Wow, what a play call by Coach Mayberry. You would think that would have running down the middle all over Yellow Jackets, expecting Buckner going down the middle, but a great job there by Henry to fake the pass, and then the big jump leap afterwards to make a great catch is Mekhi Cowart, who has also had some great rushes tonight, and that's the biggest catch of the night for South Houston.
Now they're at the 29-yard line, 1st down and 10, quickly to the line, back in that tight formation. And now it's going to be Buckner around the left side, and he's going to try to turn nothing into something. And it looks like it's going to be good for maybe a yard and a half. It's going to be a 2nd down and a long 8.
Great tackle there by number 32, Joshua Hidalgo, the first one to get at Buckner, only getting about 1 yard there. But this is probably the best clean drive. I mean, we saw that drive where it ended up in a touchdown in the first half, but let's just open up the second half like this. If you're South Houston, you got to love it if you're Coach Mayberry.
Maintaining that tight formation, they're going to go back to the right side of the line. Buckner just pushing bodies down to around the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20 is where they're going to spot him. And again, it's going to be about a 3rd and looks to be about 5.5 to go.
And Buckner just doing exactly what Buckner does, utilizing his physicality and his toughness to get those extra yards and try to bully ball his way across that Yellow Jacket defensive line. And again, here's another 3rd down situation here. I wouldn't be surprised if this is a 2-down territory here, Shane.
5:33 clock running in the 3rd. Now we're in the gun. Henry looks left. He's got some pressure set up for the screen, and that was immediately broken up. Great play by number 25, Will Maurin. We've called his name a couple of times. He sniffed that out real quick.
Yeah, real quick again, and I think that was just an unfortunate mishap there, miscommunication on the route, trying to get the ball and get it to Coleman, who had his back turned initially, and then it was kind of in tight coverage where he was double covered. And the offense for South Houston is going to stay on the field. It's going to be 4th down and 7. So they got to come up with an obvious pass call here to try to get a receiver open.
Ball is spotted just inside the 21-yard line. It's going to be Cowart now in the gun. We've seen this earlier.
Yep.
A lot of quarterback carries from that young man. Let's see what they do. It is a delayed draw quarterback carry, and it's not going to get to where he needs to go. They tried to give him space, tried to give him room to operate, but just could not get to the sticks. And it's going to be a turnover on downs. Alvin gets it 1st down and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Fantastic response by this Alvin Yellow Jackets defensive line. South Houston trying to do something different there by giving it to Cowart, who has shown success so far in this game when he acts as the main quarterback, trying to go up the middle there. Just not enough blocking out in front, not enough space being utilized to get himself enough for that 1st down. And now Alvin getting that big stop and trying to cap this next drive off with a score and really put it to South Houston.
They get the ball for the 2nd time in this half. It's going to be in the gun for DeSanto, and he is going to, we got flags on the play. Looks like it's going to be movement. Yep. Immediately the lineman calls it against Alvin, and the referee confirms it. 1st down and 15 for the Yellow Jackets.
And Alvin so far has had a pretty clean game so far tonight. It's been mainly South Houston getting the bulk of the penalties, but Alvin again being a little bit too excited to try to get some points on this next drive. So 1st and 15. If you're South Houston, this is what you want.
DeSanto now once again in the gun. He's got 3 receivers to his right. He's got 1 to the left. Again, Hayden Perkins, number 9, slot receiver. We have yet to call his name. We'll see if at some point he's going to get a target. DeSanto sets up for the screen, and it's going to be short to Canales. Incomplete, 2nd down and 15.
Yeah, not the best type of scenario there for the Alvin Yellow Jackets. Trying to set up a quick screen to Canales, and Canales it was throwing it too far ahead of him, so not much ground to gain. So 2nd down and 15. If you're South Houston, you start to see this coverage and provide pressure on the quarterback. You want to try to get the ball back as quick as possible.
Now 2 receivers to either side for DeSanto. Canales again, lone back in the backfield. Santo back to pass, looks right, throws right. Pass is complete up to the 30-yard line, and that is good for Colin Bro. Or it looks like they're going to wave it as incomplete.
Yeah, I think
they are.
Yeah, I think the ball hit the turf and then bounced into the arms of Bro there. So instead of what could have been a big 1st down to gain, it's going to end up being 3rd down and 15.
And another penalty flag. This one on Alvin again.
So they're going to accept the penalty but not lose the down. So it's going to be 2nd down in a parking lot.
That sounds about right. That's a good. Now I'm going to use that one.
Yeah.
I've never done that one before, but I like it.
Yeah, I've used that one before.
2nd down in a parking lot to go. There we go. DeSanto is going to be in the gun at the 2-yard line. Right at the goal line is Canales. Receivers on either side. 2 tight ends on the right. And a handoff to Canales, and he's going to take it towards the right side. Try to give him a little bit of breathing room, but manages to get maybe 1.
If that. Yeah, they gave him a full yard there. So makes it 3rd down and 21. So still a parking lot to go here on 3rd down. But if you're Alvin, you've got to, what I would do is, if I'm DeSanto, I would try to run man-to-man coverage on receivers, throw it to a receiver and see if you can draw pass interference, or maybe see if you can get a guy on a nice slant screen right over the middle and try to catch the Trojan secondary off guard, because they have been susceptible to leaving guys open.
3 receivers to the right. Canales, again, he's the lone back. DeSanto back into his goal line, and whistles blow.
Some pushing and shoving between a Trojan and Yellow Jacket player towards the end there. I'm surprised neither of them got flagged for that.
Delay of game against Alvin. So move them back even further. Alvin not doing themselves any favors in this drive. With 3:54 remaining in the 3rd period, fortunately, they are up on the scoreboard at 24-6.
Yeah, we mentioned how the penalty woes have happened more so for South Houston. And for Alvin, this is not what you want. Delay of game penalty to make it 3rd down and 25. And now if you don't complete this, you're giving South Houston a real chance. But look at this run.
Canales gets into the secondary and up to the 20-yard line. So just about where they started.
Yep, they got all the penalty yards back with that play. Unfortunately, it goes back to the line of scrimmage, and they're going to have to punt it. So great job by the South Houston defense to get a 2nd stop.
I tell you what, South Houston's defense, as much as it seems like they've been kind of outgunned, they have really stepped up because of all of the things they've had, the poor field position.
Yeah.
All game long, and the things that they've had to defend the short field. I tell you what, South Houston's defense has really risen to the occasion. That 24-6 is really not all the defense's fault. And a punt is
what a bounce.
Going to take an Alvin bounce and do the 30-yard line it goes. Vice punt, that's a 50-yarder, and that's where South Houston's going to take over. 1st down and 10. 2:40 remaining in the 3rd period. 24-6, Alvin with the lead. You're watching District 22 6A football on the Legacy Sports Network. We'd like to take this opportunity to thank the gold sponsor, Daspit Law Firm, for their support of Pasadena ISD Athletics. Thank you very much for supporting all of our athletes and coaches. That is the Daspit Law Firm. Ball was down at the 30, but moved back up to the 47-yard line. And Buckner's going to get the ball, and he's going to get into Alvin territory, carrying a couple Yellow Jackets with him. Ball to the 43-yard line. And that is going to be close to a first down. Missed it by about a half a yard.
They're going to give him the first down after giving him forward progress. But I'll tell you what, Buckner has been carrying the ball hard all night. He's been so elusive despite his size. He's been able to find these gaps that the offensive line for the Trojans create for him, and he's been able to use it to the full extent.
He runs with serious power. There's no question. Play action pass. Looking left and nearly complete. Slightly overthrown. Looks like he was trying to go for Cowart.
Yeah, it looked like it was Cowart.
Slow getting up. Takes the helmet off. And let's see. Looks like they might be treating him for a cramp.
Yeah, it looks like he's got cramping, yeah.
Injury timeout brought to you by Methodist Clear Lake Hospital. We'll take a timeout as well. District 22 6A football on the Legacy Sports Network. All right, looks like Cowart is able to walk out under his own power. That's always a good sign.
Yeah.
Shane Brown along with Kevin Z in a 24-6 ball game. But South Houston trying to make a comeback. They've got a second down and 10. Ball at the 43-yard line. Legacy Sports Network, your broadcast home for Houston High School Athletics since 2008. Legacy Sports Network, we are building a legacy one game at a time. Tell you what, Cowart is unable to return. That is a major blow to the Trojan offense. Cowart comes off to the sideline and immediately lays back down, and they're really working on that left leg. They're really massaging that calf. Looks like it's a cramp. That's what that is. They're really working on that big time.
And luckily, thank goodness it's just a cramp, because Cowart has been such a big part of this offense, and he's been a big reason why they were even on the scoreboard.
Absolutely. He is, his plays in the quarterback position in the shotgun and the Wildcat, very, very effective in that first half. Now it's been Buckner this half, and this guy knocking people over. And I tell you what, he is running with a purpose.
Now you talk about having like a good power back. Buckner has been just that, like running with some power and ferocity. Gets another first down, and I think we've got an injured Yellow Jacket.
Yeah, it looks like, it appears to be number 44, Jaron Cassis. And I mean, Buckner laid a shot into him. You could see with the replay. Well, that's the replay for Coward's incompletion. But Buckner laid a shot into him, and I mean, he dropped. And Coward Buckner is an absolute bowling ball going down the field. If I'm Cassis, I wouldn't want to get in front of him either.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Buckner has been a force to be reckoned with the whole night for the South Houston Trojans. And going to get another injury timeout here.
We'll take a timeout as well. Injury timeout brought to you by Methodist Clear Lake Hospital. 22-6A football. You're listening to it live on the Legacy Sports Network. Shane Brown along with Kevin Z here at Pasadena ISD's Veterans Memorial Stadium. 1:27 remaining in the third period in a 24-6 ball game, in which Alvin is leading South Houston. As you see, we had an extensive timeout there as Alvin's number 44, Jaron Cassis, the senior linebacker, took a shot from Jaden Buckner and was down for well over 16 minutes. They have him attended to. His mom and looked like a sister were able to get down on the field with him. They were able to get him on the stretcher, get him off the field, and obviously thoughts and prayers are with that young man and his family. And now, Kevin, somehow you regroup and try and finish a football game.
Yeah, absolutely. And then it's just very disheartening to see like a young man like that go down like that. You never want to see a player of his caliber in any circumstance to go down like that. And luckily he's attended to, so we wish him a quick and speedy recovery, and thoughts and prayers to him, as well as both South Houston and Alvin are taking like a little bit of warm-ups to try to loosen themselves back up and get back into the field and get back to the field as we resume play.
So Lamont Mayberry, the first-year head coach at South Houston, Matthew Bass, first-year coach at Alvin, trying to get their troops refocused. Buckner gets fed the ball again, and he's going to get dropped in the backfield. And Buckner goes nowhere. It's going to bring up a third down as we're now approaching the final minute of this third quarter.
Yeah, Buckner didn't get any yards out of it. When you said nowhere, it was literally nowhere.
Met by a host of Yellow Jackets. Buckner has been extremely effective. Again, he's responsible for the one score that South Houston has.
Yep.
And they're going to feed him again, but met quickly by number 94, Ashton Dean, and then tried to go the other way. And again, nothing going. And now we're going to go to third down.
And this is probably most likely going to be the final play of the third quarter here, as the snap clock is at 20 and the game clock is at 23. So we're going to see one more play here from the Trojans before we head to the final quarter.
Good to see Coward back out there. He was down earlier with cramps.
Yeah.
He's wide left as a receiver. It's Henry in the gun, and he's looking left, and he's set up for the screen for Buckner. Buckner across the 30, 25, and still on his feet, and it looks like he's going to get enough for the first down as the third period comes to a close. 24-6 is your score. The Trojans are driving. They're going to have a 4th and 1 when we come back. The fourth and final frame, District 22 6A football on the Legacy Sports Network.
At this moment, Chelsea isn't thinking about how Chevron is helping power the future of AI. She's thinking how to best power her half marathon. That's energy in progress.
Imagine you are him or her. Like them, you have a lot to manage. Houston Methodist has a lot to offer. Convenient primary care for annual upkeep, personalized orthopedics to keep you going, and a cancer center with the latest technology and treatments. All in one manageable system so you can thrive.
Family owned and operated, Top Dog Fireworks has 14 locations in the greater Houston area. Go to topdogfireworks.com to find a location near you. Top Dog Fireworks supports the community and wishes the local high school athletes all the best. Make memories and strive for your goals. Top Dog Fireworks. Say it with a boom. Boom. There we go. Right on cue. We're in the fourth quarter now. Houston needing a lot of points and has little time to do it. Down by 18 with 12 minutes left. They're going to face a 4th and 1. And like we said during the timeout, I wonder who's going to get the ball.
Yeah, and Buckner is indeed in the backfield, ready to receive it. But let's see if they even try to draw maybe Alvin off sides. But I don't see why you would with a 4th and 1, and you're down by a bunch of scores. And South Houston is going to have a timeout to talk things over.
Tried to draw him off sides, but it was no good. And Now it's 4th and short. So, I mean, obviously you got to go for it.
Yeah, definitely.
So, but I think you hate burning a timeout there because you're going to need them to stop the clock at some point.
For sure, yeah.
You want to get back into the game. Life happens, fans, and maybe it's a work trip, family event, or you just want to watch the game at home. Don't let your tickets go to waste. With Quick Assist, your seats get listed for sale on every major marketplace simultaneously. No more juggling apps or stressing over resale. They make it fast, easy, and hassle-free. So you save time and put money back in your pocket. From the NFL to Major League Baseball, NBA, NHL, MLS, college football, basketball, doesn't matter. Download that app by scanning the QR code on the website. Quick Assist, that's ASSYST. Quick Assist, your ticket everywhere. 4th and short, they go for it, and let's see where they spot it.
I don't think they got it.
I don't think they did either.
It might have been maybe a half-yard short. I mean, Buckner was getting the ball. You knew that from the get-go. And then the last-ditch effort, I'm not sure if it was enough. From our angle, it looks like the nose of the football is right near the 21, which is where they need to go. And Alvin's celebrating and I think they stopped them.
Well, the head referee, Sean Silman, is calling out the chains. They're going to make sure before they do anything, before they make any call, Alvin acting like they did get the stop, but we're going to confirm with the chain crew, so let's see what happens.
This is really close. It didn't look like he got it there initially, but we'll see.
And it looks like they stopped him by about a foot.
Yeah, that's a great job there by the Alvin Yellow Jacket defense there. On 4th and 1, they stop him only a half yard. That's a big stop for them, Shane.
Absolutely. The momentum was going South Houston's way.
Oh, yeah.
And just like that, a turnover on downs with 11:52 remaining in the 4th period. Alvin's going to get the ball for the first time this 4th quarter, starting at their own 22-yard line.
And now, again, another opportunity presents itself for Alvin. I mean, the last 2 times we've had the ball, South Houston has answered the call defensively and is able to get big timely stops to get the ball back. But now if you're Alvin, if you can end this drive with another score, then you've officially put the nail in the coffin as far as this game is concerned.
Santos going to be in the gun. One lone back, 2 receivers to right, 1 left. Santo with a handoff and across the 20 and about to the 22-yard line. Looks like LeBeau is back in the game. It is. And looks like no gain. 2nd and 10.
Yeah, LeBeau, haven't called his name since the first half, and he gets another carry here as we're just started the 4th quarter, and he only doesn't get anything out of it. So a couple more stops here for South Houston to try to get your offense back out there.
Santo again in the gun. Gets the snap. LeBeau, nope, quarterback keeper. Santo up to the 29-yard line, just inside the 30. Nice pickup by the quarterback. It's going to bring up a 2nd or 3rd down and about 3.
Yeah, great fake there by DeSanto to LeBeau, and then DeSanto keeps the ball himself, gets a big chunk play, and good for a gain of 7 yards. So 3rd down and a few coming up, and this is, again, another big 3rd down.
Again, 2 receivers right, 1 left. Santo. Handoff. Nope, quarterback keeper again, and DeSanto again to the 35. I'll tell you this, that's 3 times he's done that, Jimmy. But you know who really sells that, and that is LeBeau.
That's right.
He sells that handoff extremely well, and sure enough, man, every time DeSanto's got it, and he's heading around the left side, and he does that every time it's around that left side of the line, and that's good for a 1st down with 10:15 and the clock running.
Yeah, completely fooling the Trojan defensive line. Two quick same plays in a row as they keep the chains rolling.
This time it is LeBeau. LeBeau across the 40 up to the 43-yard line. And Alvin making it look easy on the ground in this drive. It's going to be a 2nd and short.
And if they want, they can afford to just keep it on the ground because they've got score advantage. They can bring this down, the clock down as much as they want because they have 3 timeouts and South Houston burned 1 and they only can stop it twice.
Tight formation now. 2 tight ends on the left side for DeSanto. 1 receiver to the right. Hand off left side, LeBeau. He gets up to the 41-yard line. Move the chains. 1st down and 10 for Alvin.
Yeah, it's going to be a steady diet of the running game here down the stretch here. As LeBeau, just keep feeding him the ball after you got those 2 successful fake handoff plays and having the quarterback keep it. So I would just keep running the same plays until you get into score or until you can keep your offense on there long enough to where South Houston doesn't have enough time.
This time it's DeSanto and the quarterback keeper. Across midfield, up to the 45-yard line, and he takes a shot by number 11 for South Houston, Jacoby Mayberry. Ball is spotted just inside the 45-yard line. It's going to be 2nd and extremely short for Alvin.
Yeah, great tackles there by both Jacoby Mayberry and Nathan Pena. The 2 Trojans there were able to tackle Anthony DeSanto for a big hit. And they're actually going to give him only 9 yards out of it, maybe 9.5. So 2nd and inches.
Steady ball control offense, what Alvin is using on this drive. And LeBeau, who's really kind of been their power back, remains in the game. Back to pass, looking deep, got him in, and trying to get inside the numbers, could not do it. Pass intended for Colin Bro, falls incomplete, but you know what? When you got 2nd and short, you can afford to do that.
That was excellent coverage there by the South Houston secondary, double teaming Colin Bro, having to try to to jump for it and make him would have been a miraculous catch. But number 3, Isaac DeLeon, had that last second breakup to avoid what would have been a big completion. That brings up 3rd and short.
2 receivers now for Alvin. Back to that 2 tight end set on the left side. LeBeau gets the ball and he gets a 1st down.
Yeah, only needing about a half yard to keep the chains rolling, and in no way, shape, or form should Alvin be having any sense of urgency here because they have the clock on their side and they've got the points on their side too.
Noah Urias there with the stop. 1st down and 10. They're in South Houston territory with the ball at the 43.5-yard line. Again, 2 tight ends to the left. Handoff left side. Goes LeBeau. LeBeau pushing the pile past the 30-yard line. I tell you what, we said he's been the most physical runner for Alvin, and buddy, it's showing on this drive.
Yeah, absolutely, and I thought that he was going to be stopped short, but the line kept pushing him forwards, and he had maybe 5-6 more yards out of the deal, and now Alvin Yellow Jackets are in prime real estate.
1st and 10, 30-yard line. Back with that 2 tight end left side. And it's going to be play action, rolling right. Santo, and nearly intercepted. Right in and out of the hands of Roderick Anderson. South Houston could have gotten a takeaway there, but instead it falls incomplete. 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, that was almost a completion, trying to get the ball. DeSanto was to Braden Wright. Goes right through his fingertips, and Roderick Anderson, it was right in his hands, and he just couldn't hang on to the ball. That would have been a huge turnover.
7:03 remaining in the 4th period. 18-point lead for Alvin at 24-6. Santo with a handoff. LeBeau straight ahead. Takes on the nose tackle. He runs with no fear, LeBeau does. Right up to the 27-yard line. It's going to be a 3rd down and 7.
Again, this is where the games are won and lost here so far on these 3rd downs. Every time it's a crucial 3rd down, Alvin seems to draw up the perfect play to able to keep the chains rolling. But South Houston, they've got to get a stop right here, right now, because the clock is not on their side right now.
Colin Bro, the favorite target of DeSanto, is wide right at the 30-yard line, and LeBeau with a fake handoff, and it's going to be a pass to the left side, and it looks like it's going to be good enough for a 1st down. Yep, sure is. Keep the clock running. Pass complete. Was that to Perkins?
Yep, the first time finally. We've been mentioning his name all night. That's number 9, Hayden Perkins. He's second in this district in receiving by yards. He has 229 yards coming into this game, and he got more there.
And just his first catch of the night tonight for Alvin. If you told me that was going to happen and they were going to be up 18, I thought you would have been crazy.
Absolutely.
LeBeau, he's going to get the ball, taking her over the right guard, across the 15-yard line. Moving it now down to the 14, and it's going to be second down.
And Alvin is making all the right play calls here, continuing to keep this drive long and sustained, eating up as much clock as possible to not even give South Houston a chance to even get themselves back into the game.
LeBeau remains the lone back. Santo with a snap. He's going to look left. He's going to throw left. And that's Perkins again, his second reception of the night. And he is going to get past the 5-yard line. That's good enough for a first down and goal to go for the Yellow Jackets.
Even though we fully expected to see the full utilization of Perkins, he's only had 2 targets, but 2 catches have made it work really good.
And DeSanto is on the quarterback keeper. He's in for the touchdown for the Yellow Jackets, who now lead it 30-6.
And that was a nice quarterback keeper there by DeSanto, his first rushing touchdown of the night. Going to the right side, I think everybody was trying to guard Perkins since he got 2 straight catches. And then they had no eyes on DeSanto, and he rushes in for an easy 6. And I think that might have been the straw that broke the camel's back there.
Very impressive drive by these Yellow Jackets as the point after attempt is up and good. It's now 31-6. Alvin with the lead and 4:55 remaining. We'll take a quick timeout as well. You're watching District 22 6A football, Legacy Sports Network. Shane Brown and Kevin Z, 4:55 remaining in this game that has been all Alvin all night long.
Yep.
South Houston been fighting an uphill battle with poor field position and sustained drives that have not been able to pay off. And it's just been one of those nights for Coach Mayberry's group.
Yeah, it's just been a tough night all around for South Houston. And they've had plenty of opportunities, Shane, where they've had chances. Their defense showed up, especially more so in the second half. I know the score doesn't reflect that, but they have shown some great toughness out there. But they just, you mentioned, having those long sustained drives is very good to keep your time of possession up. But if you can't end those possessions up with ending up in a score, it just becomes moot at that point.
To give you an idea of what they were facing all night long, this defense, here's Alvin's starting field position in the first half. At the 13-yard line of South Houston. Then Alvin started at the 47-yard line of South Houston. At the 30-yard line. At the 22-yard line of South Houston. Finally, the final drive of the first half, Alvin did, at their own 37-yard line. And for a defense, that's just so much pressure on them. Now, flip that. Alvin's starting position at their own 3, their own 13. Then South Houston at their own 10, then at their own 8, at the own 18-yard line, and then at their own 8-yard line. South Houston with the ball, and it's going to be a pass play that's going to go for a few yards. Not much of a pickup there. It was a penalty on the kickoff against South Houston. It's the reason why the ball was brought back. So second down and about 6. So when you think about it, Alvin or South Houston with such poor starting field position, and Alvin with all of that momentum from where they start their drives, you're already in a tough spot to be able to get a win.
Yeah, you're already behind schedule if you're South Houston. I mean, we saw like the first few drives before they even started. The special teams unit just turned the ball over. The field position just wasn't great for them all night. And they really never got going until that first touchdown was made by Jaden Buckner. And even more so, like when you're that far into the red zone and you can't punch it in, I think that 4th and 1 gets being stopped on that. I think just took the air right out of the Trojans.
Absolutely. That was another one of those sustained drives, but they weren't able to do anything. And even with Buckner's touchdown, that was an 82-yard drive.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're having to constantly cover a lot of territory, and they have such small territory to defend. South Houston has been up against it all night, and it shows, being down 31-6 with 4:03 remaining in this fourth period. You know, it's very interesting as South Houston calls a timeout. You know, we talked a little bit about Coach Bass and how interesting it is that he's the head coach at Alvin. His dad was the head coach at Alvin. You know, he says he's lived in Alvin his whole life. As a matter of fact, his entire coaching career has been Alvin ISD. Well, you take a look at Coach Lamont Mayberry. Very interesting situation for him.
Mm-hmm.
He was a longtime defensive coordinator for Coach Longstreet before Coach Longstreet became the athletic director at Pasadena ISD.
That's right.
Mayberry and Longstreet played college baseball together at Houston Tillotson College in Austin, and that's where they met each other. So they've known each other since their college days. Mayberry works on Longstreet's staff and then has the opportunity to take over the program. And he said, you know, it's priceless to know someone so well personally and professionally, and just absolutely thinks the world of Longstreet, and it's very interesting, that relationship that they've been able to share. Third down now and long. 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Back to pass. And now he's going to try and tuck and run. It's going to be Henry, and he's not going to get a whole lot there. Ball is going to continue to run with 3:50 remaining, and the ball is going to be spotted at about the 23-yard line. It's going to be 4th and forever, or as you say, 4th in a parking lot.
Yep.
For South Houston.
Yeah, it's just good coverage down the field by Alvin. I mean, there's absolutely nobody that Henry could throw the ball to him. His best course of action right there was to tuck the ball and run, because I feel like if he held onto the ball, I mean, that left side of the field was open if he wanted to take advantage of it, but he already made up his mind and decided to go to the left.
Quick kick by Henry, left-footed kicker, is going to take a bounce at the 45-yard line. Trying to make something out of it, number 5, Colin Bro, but he is dropped immediately. And right there, Alvin's going to take over. First down and 10, 3:05 remaining in the fourth period. They are in Trojan territory.
Yeah, and now if you're Alvin, I mean, you got 3:05 left to go, and South Houston can only stop you the one time. I mean, I don't expect any sort of passing play to be coming here on this final drive. And we also talked about it a little bit, like, when the game started. We talked about, like, you know, the realignment of, like, new teams coming into this district, Alvin being one of them. And so South Houston and all these other teams who have been in this district for so long, having to basically adapt to all these new teams coming into their district. And it's not going to get any easier from here for South Houston, because right after this game, they've got the Manville Mavericks coming up. And Manville, the last game I called here, they really took it to the other Maverick team, the Pasadena Memorial Mavericks. So you got Alvin, Manville, Dawson, Shadow Creek, and Pearland. Those 5 new teams coming into this district. So it's going to be an uphill battle for the rest of the season for South Houston.
Give you an idea of Manville, and they just played Shadow Creek, and it was a 27-20 football game. Extremely competitive. Manville on the short end of that, but when you're playing a Shadow Creek team and you're playing them to a touchdown,
right,
you really got to feel good about them.
Absolutely.
And, you know, to be honest with you, Pearland Dawson, having seen them earlier, they're no joke either. They've got their team playing extremely well. They shut out Dobie 2 weeks ago, 26-0. It was the first shutout of Dobie Longhorns in over 20 years.
Wow.
Beat them 26-0, then backed that up with a 55-0 shellacking of Memorial. The only thing that Dawson has that's at their disadvantage is their bye week is not until the end of the season. They've got to go 11 straight games in district, so that might be tough and fatigue might set in for Dawson. But I've got to think as you look at this district, there's no question the cream of the crop is Pearland and Shadow Creek.
Right.
Then, it's going to be Manville, Dawson, Dobie, who lost to Dawson, is on the outside looking in, but they're probably that next team that could get in.
Right.
But it's going to be tough against those Alvin schools in Pearland.
Yeah, I mean, like you mentioned, all those teams, like this district got tougher by adding those new teams. It's gonna, like I said, for the teams that have already been here, like South Houston, it's gonna be a real challenge, and to see like how tough are you against these pretty tough opponents coming into the forefront here, when you've had other teams in this district who you've been able to handle with, and now to see all these new teams come into it, you really have to change your game plans because you really haven't been seeing these teams until now.
So for Alvin, they're going to be taking on Rayburn. They'll get them at home on October 3rd. And then they're going to be playing at Manville and then Dawson at home before they come back to Veterans Stadium to take on Dobie, wrapping it up against Memorial. But Alvin looks like they're comfortably about to get into the winner's circle, as looks like we have found our fourth back, Cameron Fobbs, number 23, with the carry on that one. They said they had four backs.
Yep, that's the fourth one.
We've seen them all.
And a new quarterback came in. It's number 14, Alex Avicia.
So he's going to be in the gun. Fobbs, the one back. Handoff. Fobbs around the left side. Just try and stay in bounds, keep the clock running.
And they're going to keep the clock rolling.
122, 121. Alvin is going to improve to 2-3 on the season, 1-2 in District 22 6A. South Houston falls to 0-4 in the season, 0-2 in district play. It's been a tough homecoming night for South Houston, but with that being said, one of the members of the football team was named Homecoming King.
That's right. It was number 9, Roy Gomez, the senior wide receiver and defensive back for South Houston. So big congratulations to Roy Gomez as tonight's homecoming king for the South Houston Trojans.
Kind of a bittersweet homecoming for him, but congratulations nonetheless. They can't take that away from you, young man.
Absolutely not.
And it looks like this is going to be the final play of the game as the ball is spotted down at about the 2-yard line. 27 seconds remaining, and that's going to be just about it. 31-6. Looks like is going to be your final score. I can't imagine Alvin's going to run another play, but they might. You know, with those tiebreaker rules about point differential, you can see why they might want to put another one in the end zone.
Oh, absolutely. A couple of years ago, I saw a game. It was Pasadena Memorial against South Houston a few years ago, back when Cameron Webb was still the quarterback. And at the end of the game, when Pasadena Memorial already won it, they were on the field defensively, and South Houston just got a free 2 points. The entire defensive line for Pasadena Memorial had already left the field at that point. So okay. I've seen that happen firsthand.
Well, you can go ahead and tag another touchdown. That's Fobbs with the 3-yard run. Pending the point after. That's up. That's good. 38-6 now. Well, and you mentioned this. So last year, Dawson beats Dobie.
Yep.
But Dobie beats Manville. Manville beats Dawson. There's a 3-way tie.
Yep.
Dobie has to beat Manville by, I believe it was 17 or more points in the last game.
Mm-hmm.
They do it to go to the playoffs. Dawson, for the first time in 19 years, doesn't go to the postseason.
Wow.
So fast forward to where Dawson plays Dobie a couple of weeks ago. As we mentioned, 26-0.
Yep.
It was 19-0 at the end of the game, and you're like, coach is not going to lay off the gas this time. And that point differential, and sure enough, they're going to stick one more into the end zone to get those 7 more points because they're not going to play around with point differential.
Right.
You know, I get it. You got to have a way to break the ties. Man, when a game's over,
Right.
But I don't think that Coach Bass is being disrespectful here. It's just the rules, and he's trying to do everything he can to give his team an opportunity should they be in that tiebreaker situation.
Exactly. I mean, you could look at the end of the season and say, oh, maybe that the point differential is 7 points, and maybe that touchdown will mean a lot going down the stretch when the whole thing is said and over.
Ball's going to be taken in the end zone and brought out for our final play of the game, and around the left side and down at the 20-yard line is Henry, and that is going to do it. Your final score of this contest, 38-6, Alvin with the win. And Kevin, it looks like Alvin was in complete control all game long.
Yeah, absolutely. A great bounce-back win for the Yellow Jackets, able to get their first district win on the season after being 0-2 in district and 1-3 overall. They got a nice, good win against the South Houston Trojans team that really had their opportunities tonight, Shane, but really, you talked about it, the beginning of the game, like their starting field position just was not the greatest over the course of the game, especially that first half, because you start to get that sense that on the special teams unit, whenever that first turnover happened and then the muff punt afterwards, their special teams unit, you could really have the vibe and sense that they weren't going to have like the best game at that point. But they've definitely got to clean that up going forward. I definitely also think that they got to be more disciplined with their penalties. They did clean up a little bit towards the latter half of the game, but their defense, I think, showed up better in the second half. But if they're going to have long, sustained drives, they've got to end those drives off by rewarding yourself with points in the end zone. They've got to do a better job at that.
Well, and for South Houston, it doesn't get any easier. As you mentioned, they're going to be taking on Manville at Manville, then come back here hosting Pearland Dawson, and then they're going to have Dobie. For Alvin, nice win for them. They go to 1-2 in the district. Again, they're going to be taking on Rayburn and then heading to Manville before going back to Alvin, hosting Pearland Dawson. Again, we do hope that Jaron Cassis, number 44 for Alvin, is good. The young man injured earlier in the game. Again, thoughts and prayers going out to him and his family, Coach Bass, staff, and players for Jaron Cassis. But despite the injuries and the down, it's a great win for Alvin, something to build on.
Yeah, definitely. Alvin has got a lot of things to look back on and be positive in this game. After losing, they only scored 3 points last game against Pearland, losing 3-61. But then they come into this game and put up 38 points on the South Houston team, trying to get back and get their first district win. And you saw it. He had a nice, great running game the whole game. We've had a few rushing touchdowns by Logan LeBeau, Marcus Canales, and Anthony DeSanto even in there. And then you have a reception touchdown by Colin Bro in a game where they barely even utilized their best receiver, which was Hayden Perkins, and they didn't really do anything until like maybe the 2 catches in that last drive. So coupled with the fact that like they were able to cash in on defensively on opportunities that South Houston missed, all around it was a great win for the Yellow Jackets.
Absolutely. Congratulations to Coach Bass, his staff, and team as they move on with a 1-2 record in district and a great win tonight. Well, we hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. It was a lot of fun here, and wish you guys all the best. Thank you so much for joining us for District 22 6A football. For Kevin Z, I'm Shane Brown. Again, your final score, 38-6, Alvin over South Houston. You've been watching District 22 6A football on the Legacy Sports Network. Good night, everybody.